Hello and welcome to another episode of Discover with Spinati. I'm your host, Dr. Spinati. We're talking about how to become unstoppable and how to live your life according to the energy levels that you project. And as you can see here, the going is going to get tough. And when the going gets tough, that's when you challenge yourself in order for you to remain on the same track of your goals. Now, before we keep going with this, I do want to mention that today is episode number 128. We have been going very strong every single day, 128 days straight. No breaks, no times off. Even when my friend came from Australia, he's a trooper. I actually made him do the podcast with me so that I can still fulfill the daily ritual of doing a live podcast on a daily basis. So thank you, Ibs, for that. How to become unstoppable. What does it mean to become unstoppable? It simply means that when you put a goal in mind, a goal means that you have something that you're aiming to by a certain deadline. It must have a deadline. If you don't have a deadline in which you're trying to achieve that thing, then it's a dream, it's a wish. That's the only difference between a goal and a wish or a dream or a prayer or hope is you have a deadline. You actually have a timeline. Yes, does that up the ante? Does that up the pressure? Absolutely, it does. But that's what being unstoppable requires. It requires you to have a goal. Because what's the point of putting in a ton of energy over and over again if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know when you're going to achieve the result? So that's the first step in being unstoppable, is that for you to actually have a goal that you're so passionate about that you can only see that thing. There are three components of what I just mentioned, and those components are explained in one sentence, and it is sustained obsession over a period of time until you achieve your result. Sustained obsession over a period of time until you achieve your result. What does it look like when you have sustained obsession? The first is that is all you think about. That's all that occupies your mind. When you wake up in the morning until you go to bed, when you meet with your friends, no matter where you go, that is all you're talking about. That is your absolute obsession. You are obsessed with it. When you fall in love with someone, that is all that you talk about. That is the obsession that you are looking for your goal. That's number one. That is all you think about. Number two, people start telling you to chill a bit. People see you that is all you're talking about. That's all that occupies your mind. That is an extraordinary result, requires extraordinary habits, requires extraordinary behavior. Extraordinary means you are outside the ordinary, means you are outside the norm. When you're outside the norm, 95% of people, and I would say 100% of people, won't understand you, because even when people are obsessed with their own thing, they won't understand your obsession unless they're obsessed with the exact same thing you're obsessed about. And the third is you become intense, meaning that your energy levels become so high all the time that people wonder, where are you getting all this energy from? That is from obsession. Because when you're obsessed, think again of Michael Jordan. When you're obsessed, it doesn't matter how tired you are. It doesn't matter if you have quote unquote stomach bug or you have the flu or whatever it is. You are going to keep going. You're going to keep going. And that is literally being unstoppable. Isn't just a mantra, isn't just kind of like a shishi woo woo kind of thing where you just kind of, you say, yes, I'm unstoppable. And you just look in the mirror and you repeat it over and over again and you chant it. It's not about that. It's about living your best life. It's about living life with zeal, with energy, with enthusiasm. I mean, look at the flip side of things. The flip side of things is that you live life kind of normal and you live life without much aim. You live life without actually having any direction. And we know a lot of people who are like that. I'm sure the majority of people that you know are exactly like that. Normal 9 to 5, go home, watch TV, go to bed, wake up, do the same thing, live for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday, hate Monday, and so on and so forth. And they repeat it until they retire. I mean, that is the flip side of it. The other side of being unstoppable is that you dictate what you want in your life. You dictate exactly what it is, and you know exactly what it is that you need to do. The output of your mind is shaped by what you put into it. So, what you actually put forth out of your mind is shaped by what you put into it. Now, that includes reading, meeting people, meeting new people, discovering what people are doing, and so on and so forth. Now, one of the things that I did this past weekend, and I mean, I do this all the time, is that whenever I see anybody in my vicinity, whenever I go out and I see people, I automatically start talking to them. And the reason I start talking to them is because I can only gain a certain amount of experience in my life, right? Because I only have one life. But if I keep talking to people, well, now my horizon is increasing exponentially. I'm gaining experience from every single person that I meet. So it's like I'm living multiple lives. But that is part of the obsession. That is part of the being unstoppable, because I personally have goals and I have certain things that I'm trying to achieve by a deadline. And that can only be attained by expanding my horizon. I'm sure you can think of certain things that you could be doing in order for you to expand your own horizon so that you can become unstoppable as well. I mean, I'm not talking about kind of airy fairy things. I'm really talking about things that you yourself know what you need to do. And there are three things in any goal that you absolutely must know. The first is that when you set a goal, whether it's to lose weight, make more money, meet new people, whatever it is, move places, change whatever it is that you want to change about yourself, it's going to get tough. It's going to get tough, and you know it's going to get tough. I'm telling you what you already know, but I'm telling you from my own experiences. And I'm telling you that when you actually put forth a set of expectations to yourself, you have to understand it's going to be very hard. It's going to be hard because you're breaking your habits. You're breaking the old habits by putting forth new ones. And that is incredibly uncomfortable. That's what requires the obsession. That's what requires the persistence. And as one person once said, actually, this is the person that wrote Be Unstoppable, the book. He actually said nothing replaces persistence. Nothing. Not education, not intelligence, absolutely nothing replaces persistence in order for you to solve the issues that you're trying to solve in your own self. Number two is, and this is a good sign, by the way, in you realizing that you are actually being, obsessed, is that in the initial stages of it, and the initial stages could be a long while, is that very little people, if at all, will actually believe in you. Very little people will intrinsically believe in what you are trying to do. And that is insanely normal. Like you are being extraordinary in a very ordinary world. And so you are definitely going to face a lot of resistance from people that don't see what you're seeing. And so they're not going to believe what you have to achieve until you achieve it. And then they're going to get back and say, I knew he or she is going to achieve it all along. I knew he was going to do it. I knew it. If there was anyone that could do it, it was him. They said it about every person that is and has become successful. And the third thing is, and I just mentioned this, is that you already know what you need to do. I don't need to tell you what you need to do. You don't need to watch more YouTube videos for you to find out what you need to do. You don't need to ask people for you to find out what you need to do. You just need to do it. And you're stopping yourself because you're procrastinating, because you realize how uncomfortable it's going to be. And you're looking for a shortcut in order for you to not do the things that are uncomfortable. But unless you do those things, you're not going to be able to achieve, because you won't be able to grow, because you won't be able to change. It's just a necessary thing for you to be uncomfortable. So, as one person once said, be comfortable being uncomfortable. And the last but not least is the thing that's going to stop you from being unstoppable is your distractions. Your distractions being the primary thing, which is procrastination. Such things as anything that you are not using in order for you to get closer to your goal. And that is it. That is the recipe for you to be unstoppable. Understand that the going is going to get tough. No one is going to believe in you, and that's a good sign. You already know what you need to do, but you're realizing there are no shortcuts and you just need to do it. And to get rid of distractions. Become unstoppable, be unstoppable in your life, and as always and forever, keep smiling. Good night.